Welcome back to Art Practice ASMR. This video is my recap for week 2 of Inktober 2019. In this video, you're going to be seeing the inking process for all of the different drawings I've posted for the past week. If you like any of the drawings and you want to see them in a higher quality, just check out my social media through the links below. In this video, I'm going to be reading a short story from Joe Hill's 20th Century Ghosts. The story is called Deadwood, but before I read it, I kind of just want to make something very clear. I am extremely tired right now. I didn't expect this video to be an all-nighter, yet here I am at 7 or 8 in the morning. It's definitely 8 actually. Here I am at 8 in the morning having not slept, so if you could imagine, I am starting to get dumb in my sleepiness. And I will most certainly slur words. I'm pretty sure I even have, and I'm not even reading. So with that out of the way, I will now read this story. This is Deadwood by Joe Hill. It has been argued even trees may appear as ghosts. Reports of such manifestations are common in the literature of parapsychology. There is the famous white pine of West Belfry, Maine. It was chopped down in 1842, a towering fir with a white smooth bark like none anyone had ever seen, and with pine needles the color of brushed steel. A tea house and inn was built on the yard where it had stood. A cold spot existed in the corner of a yellow dining room, a zone of penetrating chill, the exact diameter of the white pine's trunk. Directly above the dining room was a small bedroom, but no guest would stay the night there. Those who tried said their sleep was disturbed by the keening rush of a phantom wind, the low, soft roar of air in high branches. The gusts blew papers around the room and pulled curtains down. In March, the walls bled sap. An entire phantom wood appeared in Canaanville, Pennsylvania, for a period of 20 minutes one day in 1959. There are photographs. It was in a new development, a neighborhood of winding roads and small, modern bungalows. Residents woke on a Sunday morning and found themselves sleeping in strands of birch that seemed to grow right from the floor of their bedrooms. Underwater hemlocks swayed and drifted in backyard swimming pools. The phenomenon extended to a nearby shopping mall. The ground floor of Sears was filled with brambles, half-price skirts hanging from the branches of Norway maples. A flock of sparrows settled on the jewelry counter, picking at pearls and gold chains. Somehow, it's easier to imagine the ghost of a tree than it is the ghost of a man. Just think how a tree will stand for 100 years, gorging itself on sunlight and pulling the moisture from the earth, tirelessly hauling its life up out of the soil, like someone hauling a bucket up from the bottomless well. The roots of a shattered tree will still drink for months after death, so used to the habit of life they can't give it up. Something that doesn't know it's alive obviously can't be expected to know it's dead. After you left, not right away, but after a summer had passed, I took down the Adler we used to read under, sitting together on your mother's picnic blanket. The Adler we fell asleep under that time, listening to the hum of the bees. It was old and rotten. It had bugs in it. Although new shoots still appeared on its boughs in the spring, I told myself I didn't want it to blow down and fall into the house, even though it wasn't leaning toward the house. But now, sometimes when I'm out there, in the wide open of the yard, the wind will rise and shriek, tearing at my clothes. What else shrieks with it, I wonder? My shoulder. Well, that was the story. It was very short, but believe me, it was the shortest one that could have possibly fit into this video. I was going to read the next story, The Widow's Breakfast, but I could only get like 3 pages into this like 7-page long story before my video ends. To be fair, in those videos I was reading only the story, and I tried to cut down the video, or the beginning of the video, as much as I could, so I could fit as much of the story as I could. But it's just a lot of words. I think I'll read it next time, though. I really wish that I had something else to read for the remainder of this video. But like I said, the story I just read was the only one that I could fit the entirety of it into this video. And I'm going to be honest, as much as I want to read something longer, I was happy to have this video be under 20 minutes, because I thought that it could be more short and sweet, and I could get a nice... I was going to read a no-sleep story in here, and I did end up recording it. And it was actually, I think, the most well-acted thing I've done. But before uploading the video, I just felt compelled to look over the rules of the No Sleep subreddit. And I found out that if you don't ask for permission from the original author, that they are actually encouraged to file DMCA takedowns against the people narrating the stories. And that there is actually a community of Reddit users who search for stories being used without permission. And I found out that I do not fall under their small channel rules, because my channel is too old and has over 100 subs. So this is the only time that I've ever been too popular. But to avoid getting DMCA'd by someone who probably would not watch this video. I mean, most of my subscribers don't even watch these videos, but that's neither here nor there. I just wanted to avoid some sort of controversy, even if I would have asked, later when I wake up, whatever. I don't think Joe Hill is going to sue me, so I will gladly read from his book, which I have bought thoroughly enjoy, even though I've only read 2 stories from it so far. I kind of feel bad that I don't have anything else to read for this video, because now I have to just awkwardly talk for the rest of it, just like all of my early videos, especially my first year of Inktober. My first year of Inktober was the first time that my audience really avoided something that I've made. The first video I made was 40 minutes of no talking, and I cut that down to a 20-minute video with talking. Nobody watched either. Or people watched the first one and then didn't bother check out the second one. And the only time people actually watched one of my Inktober videos was when I didn't say it was an Inktober video in the title. It was kind of disheartening, or whatever the word I'm looking for is, but to be fair, I was not particularly interesting in those videos. That's why this year I was planning on reading things in each video. But as it turns out, my audience just doesn't like these kinds of things, which I already know. I've said in other videos that my subscribers really only watch the anime videos. But the thing that does give me genuine panic attacks is when I post an anime video and it doesn't do well, and it's like, what the hell happened, you know? I really am trying my best to figure out this whole YouTube thing, and it's hard. I sometimes regret not starting this whole thing back when I first discovered ASMR in 2013. I think that I would be a much more popular or successful ASMR artist if I started back then. And I at least know for sure that I would be a much better artist if I started religiously practicing back then. But I can't be too hard on myself. I was learning how to do 3D modeling and animation back then, because that's what I thought I wanted to do. Eventually, I gained a lot of respect for 2D, and I wanted to try drawing again. And now I'm here. I do get really paranoid and anxious about my videos and gaining an audience, but I try my best not to. Trying my best doesn't mean succeeding, but whatever. Nobody's listening right now to this sob story anyway, so I'm not even gonna feel guilty about it. Anyway, this video is almost over, so I want to say thanks for watching. If you're actually listening right now, why don't you leave this video a like, or say so in the comments. If you're not subscribed, why don't you consider subscribing? And check out my Instagram or Twitter. I could use more Twitter followers. I could use anything. What am I saying? Thanks for watching. I'm gonna shut up now. Goodbye.